round two. Dr. Heavenly, for each of your past actions, tell us if you regret it or not and why. Dr. Heavenly, dentist to all the finest teeth in Atlanta.
Ooh.
Do you regret publicly commenting on Sweet Tea's fertility journey and saying your mom has a better chance of conceiving?
Oh. Now, y'all, that ain't fair. Yes, I do regret it.
Okay.
But she talked about my mom being in hell. It was just a clapback.
Okay.
That's all it was.
Do you regret tweeting this about Toya? You've got to be the dumbest bitch in captivity.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah.
I regret it. Dang, I don't even remember that.
Okay. Do you regret sharing Quad's house tour on Instagram with the caption, Quad's mansion just hits different after Sweet Tea posted her own house tour?
I do not regret that.
Okay. Do you regret saying on your channel with Quad that you helped Phaedra after she claimed she revived the show?
We did help Phaedra.
Nobody saw this coming. For years, Dr. Heavenly has been one of the loudest, most controversial, and most talked about faces on Married to Medicine. Love her or hate her, one thing nobody could deny was that she always knew how to keep people talking. Every season, she had something to say. Every reunion, she found herself in the middle of drama. Every argument somehow circled back to her. But now the conversation has completely changed because the rumors spreading across social media are getting louder by the day. Fans are talking about Dr. Heavenly allegedly being pushed out, while another familiar face is finding her way back into the spotlight.
This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to keep putting the man down. We're going to be staying with him. We're going to stay with him. And we're going to start talking positively about it. If we're not going to stay with him, let's leave and shut up. That's what I'm thinking. We're going to stop talking about this all the damn time. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to keep putting the man down. We're going to be staying with him. We're going to stay with him. And we're going to start talking positively about it. If we're not going to stay with him, let's leave and shut up. That's what I'm thinking, right? Come on. We're going to stop talking about this all the damn time. This is what we're not going to do. We're not going to keep putting the man down. We're going to be staying with him. We're going to stay with him. And we're going to start talking positively about it. If we're not going to stay with him, let's leave and shut up. That's what I'm...
And if those rumors are true, then this could be one of the biggest shakeups the show has seen in years. What really has everybody talking isn't just the possibility of Heavenly being gone. It's who people believe could be replacing her. Mariah. Yes, that Mariah. The woman whose history with the cast is filled with friendships, betrayals, explosive arguments, and years of unfinished business. Now, fans are asking one question: has the table finally turned? Because if Mariah is making her return while Heavenly is watching from the sidelines, then the irony is almost impossible to ignore. And baby, social media is having a field day. People are posting opinions, old clips are resurfacing, and longtime viewers are digging through years of receipts trying to connect the dots. Some are celebrating, others are shocked, and a few people are wondering if Heavenly herself saw any of this coming. Because if the rumors are true, then this isn't just a cast change, this is a full circle moment. Now, before we get into all the tea, we have to talk about how we got here, because none of this happened overnight.
Heavenly.
He cheated. He didn't mean to do it. He didn't mean to do it, damn it. It was damn bitch and I'm not gonna be like that. But I know this man loves me with all of his soul. It takes two to tango. It takes two. That's what that man would never hurt me like that on purpose. That's why we didn't have to go on up to that man's hand, honey. This is a man who is strong. And that's what that is. And he wouldn't do it to his kids. He wouldn't do it to me.
For years, Dr. Heavenly built a reputation for saying exactly what was on her mind, whether people liked it or not. That blunt personality helped make her a standout star. She wasn't afraid of confrontation, she wasn't afraid to challenge friendships, and she definitely wasn't afraid to speak on situations that many people felt weren't her business. At first, a lot of viewers found it entertaining. Every reality show needs somebody willing to stir the pot. Without conflict, there is no show. Without tension, there is no story. And Heavenly understood that better than almost anyone. But over time, some fans started feeling differently. Instead of seeing entertaining drama, they started seeing something else. They felt the arguments were becoming repetitive. They felt certain friendships were constantly being targeted. They felt the same wounds were being reopened again and again. Whether those criticisms were fair or not, the conversation around Heavenly began changing. The support she once enjoyed started becoming divided. Some viewers continued defending her. Others began questioning whether her approach had gone too far. And that's where things became complicated. Because reality television can be a strange world. The same personality traits that make someone famous can sometimes become the very thing that turns people against them. One season, you're the fan favorite. The next season, people are asking whether you've overstayed your welcome. And unfortunately, that's a cycle we've seen happen many times before. Meanwhile, there was another name that never completely disappeared from conversations about Married to Medicine: Mariah. Now, let's be honest, Mariah's relationship with the show has always been emotional. She wasn't just another cast member. Many fans viewed her as part of the foundation. Her presence helped shape the early identity of the series. She had strong friendships, powerful alliances, and unforgettable conflicts. But as viewers know, things eventually fell apart. Relationships cracked. Trust disappeared, arguments escalated, and before long, Mariah found herself separated from many of the people she once considered close. The fallout became one of the most discussed chapters in the show's history. Even after she was no longer front and center, fans never stopped talking about her. Every season brought new debates. Should she come back? Would she ever return? Could old relationships be repaired? Or was the damage simply too deep? Those questions never really went away. They just sat quietly in the background, waiting for the right moment. And now that moment might finally be here, because what nobody expected was for Heavenly's future on the show to suddenly become part of the conversation at the exact same time Mariah's name started gaining momentum again. And baby, that's where things get messy. According to online chatter, fans began noticing changes. People started speculating. Discussion boards exploded. Comment sections filled up overnight. Suddenly, everyone had a theory. Some believed producers were looking for a fresh direction. Others believed audience reactions were influencing decisions. And then came the rumors that sent social media into overdrive. Talk started spreading that Heavenly was furious about what was happening behind the scenes. Now, nobody outside the production truly knows every detail, but that didn't stop fans from creating their own narratives. And those narratives spread fast. People began claiming Heavenly wasn't taking the news well. Some said she felt blindsided. Others said she was frustrated by how quickly public opinion seemed to shift. And honestly, even if only half the rumors are true, you can understand why emotions would be running high. Think about it. Imagine spending years helping carry a show. Imagine being involved in countless storylines. Imagine becoming one of the most recognizable faces in the cast. Then suddenly, people start discussing your replacement. That's not easy for anybody, especially when the person being mentioned is someone connected to years of past drama. And that's exactly why viewers became so invested, because this wasn't just about casting, it felt personal. Every old argument suddenly mattered again. Every old feud started getting revisited. Fans began reposting clips from years ago. People were comparing Heavenly's biggest moments with Mariah's biggest moments. They were debating who brought more value, who carried more storylines, who deserved the spotlight. And baby, the debates got heated. One side argued that Heavenly helped keep the show relevant. They said she consistently delivered memorable television. They believed removing her would create a huge gap in the cast dynamic. The other side disagreed completely. They felt the show needed new energy. They believed certain conflicts had become exhausting, and they saw Mariah's possible return as an opportunity to restore something they felt had been missing.
Neither side was backing down. Meanwhile, the rumors continued growing. Every new post created more questions. Every new discussion created more speculation. And before long, the story became bigger than anyone expected. But here's the twist. The possibility of Mariah returning isn't only about nostalgia. It's about unfinished business. because there are still relationships that were never fully repaired. There are still conversations that never happened. There are still wounds that never properly healed. And viewers know that. That's why so many people are fascinated by the idea. They aren't just thinking about what happened in the past, they're wondering what could happen next. Could old enemies finally make peace? Could former friends reconnect? Or would the same explosions happen all over again? Nobody knows, and that uncertainty is exactly what keeps fans hooked. As for Heavenly, the emotional side of this situation can't be ignored. Behind every reality television personality is a real person. It's easy for viewers to forget that. People watch episodes, they watch reunions, they watch social media clips, but they don't always see what happens when the cameras stop rolling. They don't see the pressure, they don't see the criticism, they don't see the thousands of comments flooding in every day. Imagine waking up and seeing strangers debate whether you deserve to lose your place. Imagine reading comments from people celebrating your exit. That kind of attention would affect almost anyone, no matter how confident they appear on television, no matter how strong they seem online. At some point, those conversations become impossible to ignore, and that's why many fans have mixed emotions. Even people who disagree with Heavenly recognize that being in her position can't be easy. Years of work, years of commitment, years of public scrutiny, all leading to this moment where her future feels uncertain. That's a heavy situation for anybody. And then there's Mariah. If she really is moving closer to a return, that comes with its own emotional weight, because returning isn't always as simple as walking back through the door.
A comeback means facing old memories, old conflicts, old relationships. It means stepping into an environment where history already exists. And history has a way of showing up when people least expect it. That's why fans are paying such close attention. This story isn't just about one person, it's about everyone connected to the journey. It's about friendships that fell apart. It's about loyalty that was tested. It's about years of emotions finally catching up with everybody involved. And honestly, that's what makes reality television so fascinating. The people change, the alliances change, the power shifts, but the emotions remain. Now, the biggest question remains unanswered. What happens next? Will Heavenly fight to protect her place? Will Mariah actually make a dramatic return? Will producers go in a completely different direction? Right now, nobody outside the show knows for sure, but what we do know is that viewers are watching every move, every post, every interview, every clue, because they want answers. And until those answers arrive, the speculation will only continue growing. One thing is certain though, if Mariah truly returns while Heavenly finds herself pushed aside, it would become one of the most talked about twists in Married to Medicine history. Not because of ratings, not because of headlines, but because of what it represents. A complete reversal of fortune. The kind of television storyline nobody could have predicted years ago. And maybe that's why this story has captured so much attention, because it reminds people how quickly things can change. The person everyone talks about today might not be the person they're talking about tomorrow. The friendships that seem permanent can disappear. The rivalries that feel finished can suddenly come back to life. And the doors that look permanently closed sometimes open when nobody expects them to. For now, all fans can do is wait. Wait for official announcements. Wait for more details. Wait to see whether these rumors become reality. But if there's one thing we've learned from this franchise, it's that nothing stays quiet for long. The truth always finds its way to the surface. And when it does, you already know the internet is going to explode. Because whether you're Team Heavenly, Team Mariah, or somewhere in the middle, one thing is impossible to deny. This story is far from over, and the next chapter could change everything.